Well, Mike Haas has had a first-hand look at Sheba's television career. Her initial job here at WWL-TV was associate producer, so she wrote for Mike. Within 2 years, Sheba worked her way up from producer to traffic reporter to morning show reporter to co-anchor. Mike's been Sheba's mentor and biggest cheerleader, and I recently sat down with our former colleague, now the voice of the Saints, to get his thoughts.
I remember the very first time we met her, we were in some boring afternoon news meeting, and she came in to interview for whatever it was, a desk assistant producer, and she sat down and she was just Sheba, right? Just whoosh, right? And so we talked to her for about 20 minutes and then she left the room and we were all just like, what was that? There was like an electricity. She just kind of, we were like, well, and that's easy to have, but to transition that to on air is unique.
In business news, a new trading week gets underway today with investors looking to build on Friday's gains.
And Google wants to use your name and photo in advertisements.
When I found out that we were going to co-anchor October 2013, I believe, and I told her in the parking lot, there's a picture of it. And I just said, look, this is just be you. I'm not asking you to do anything. Trust me, just be you, work as hard as you've been working, and you'll be fine.
A sneak peek, guys, and we are finally on the move here, which is so exciting. This is beautiful.
It is nice. This is where I go to the McDonald's.
This is how we get to McDonald's. Is that where this
now
is headed? Because we got on, but I don't really know where we're going.
We had a blast. She taught me, this whole mid-tour thing. There was so much about, because our age separation is significant. Let's just say significant. And so there was a whole other generational, she's like same age as my kids, that I was learning with her, social media, all the nuances. She was so strong in that area. That was just, when she worked at it, again, it's not like it just happens, but she worked at it. And so I learned a ton of that side of the industry from a social media side that I really didn't know.
What are some of your favorite memories?
Yeah, whenever we would leave the station, we would have the best time.
Happy Mardi Gras!
Happy Mardi Gras! And this year I coordinated with you.
I caught some bees, but I can't find them.
Oh no! We'll work that out for you. Just keep looking.
We did one time. We sang Christmas carols in one of the bike-driven carriages down to the French Quarter. Anytime we would leave the building, it was kind of, like a field trip, and we'd have a blast. We were together for both of the governor's election nights, and so, we've done some of the hard news stuff together, but, whenever we got to leave the station and get out of this environment, it was always the best. I'm just proud of her, right? She's like, again, she could easily be my daughter from an age standpoint. And so it's been fun to watch because there was such an innocence at the beginning, because there was no jaded television emotions for her. She was just beginning. Everything was new. Everything was the first. Everything was the first time of this and the first time of that. It's just been really fun to watch the growth. It's been fun. It's been fun.
And he did mention it in there. His advice is just be Sheba.
Oh,
I mean, everybody loves you. That's why you got hired there.
And he said the innocence, that went fast.
Eric, don't start with me today.
And he also said the vast age difference between you and Mike. We're close to the same age. So.
Mike and I's joke was always my birth year was his anniversary at the station.
Oh, wow.
Which is why he's always like, you could be my child. But Mike Haas, man, I was so lucky. I always say so blessed to have the right people around me when I knew nothing. And Mike's so nice. He's not like Eric. He's not gonna tell all my trash stories.
Wow.
When I first came on TV, out of the seventh ward, there was so much y'all I couldn't say. I never forget there was breaking news on the Champs-Élysées in Paris, France.
What did you say?
And I said there was a shooting on the Champs-Élysées. When Mike was off, I would say the craziest stuff. And he always was like, hey kid, let me just help you out.
But you guys were on the early show together.
We were on the early show when you were still
6,
sleeping, Eric Paulson, and Mike Haas took such good care of me. I will forever be grateful. One of the hardest working people in life, not just in this business.
We got to go to break, but quickly, we have a card this is from Leslie, Peyton, and me. But I have a really special gift coming up in the next half hour.
You put a check in it?
Well, sort of.
Oh, I can send you my Cash App. All right, we're going to take a break.
Right back.